Hello, Assalamualaikum everyone. Financial consultant Helmi Hakim here from Takaful.sg. How are you doing today? Today is day 20 out of my 44 days Facebook Live video challenge. And today, I want to share with you an Islamic Financial Planning Techniques in Singapore. As most of you have known, my name is Helmi Hakim. I'm a financial consultant from Takaful.sg. I specialize in helping Muslim families plan their finance the Sharia compliant way in Singapore so that we can live peacefully on this earth and in the Akhirah. Ameen, Ameen, Inshallah. And for the past 13 years, right, I've been sharing a lot of Islamic financial planning techniques with my clients. And today is your lucky day because today I'm going to share with you a few of the techniques that I find will be useful for those of you who are sitting down right now at your home doing some muhasabah after your Tarawih prayers and reflecting on your personal finance, and you need some kind of direction to help you pinpoint on the things on how you can improve your finance or bring your finance to a whole new level. Assalamualaikum everyone, financial consultant Helmi Hakim here from Takaful.sg, and today I'm sharing with you this topic on Islamic financial planning techniques in Singapore. This topic, right, is very close to my heart because why? Because every day I meet a lot of people out there who come and meet me, and they've been asking me, and most of them, they are basically looking at two things. And the first thing first, they are looking at ways on how they can clear their riba based loans in Singapore. And the second thing is that they are looking at ways on how they can save, accumulate and grow their money in the Sharia compliant way in Singapore. So they want to know of this thing called structure. They want to know of this thing called methodologies. They want to know of this thing called techniques, and specifically they want to know Islamic finance techniques. Islamic finance techniques that they can use specifically in Singapore. Okay, so before I even touch about techniques, right, I just want to share with you on the aspect of on Islamic financial planning. Islamic financial planning. Some people ask me, what Islamic financial planning? Is there really a difference between Islamic financial planning and conventional financial planning? What's the difference that make the difference? So I just want to help you recall. For Islamic financial planning, you cannot have these three things. You cannot have riba, you cannot have maizir, and the third one, you cannot have gharar. No riba, no maizir, and no gharar. Riba is basically interest. Allah SWT have told us in the Quran more than 1,400 years ago. Allah permits trade and forbids usury. And so for us Muslim, if we know that any particular financial instrument has riba, or any financial planning techniques involved with riba, or any financial planning methodologies involved with riba, we need to avoid that at all costs. The second one is what? The second one is maizir. And maizir is known as gambling, speculation, and some kind of speculative activities. Means you have to tikam here, tikam there, are not possible. And the third one is what? The third one is gharar. Gharar is some level of uncertainty. So uncertainty, it can be ambiguous. I mean, you can have a contract, or you can have a financial planning methodology or financial planning technique, but it involves a lot of ambiguity. You don't know whether should it be A or should it be B, or should be A and B, or should it be A, B and C. Some level of ambiguity. There's a danger there. Because why? Because it lacks transparency. So Islamic financial planning, right, cannot involve these three things: riba, maizir, and gharar. And one of the Islamic financial planning techniques that I've been sharing with my clients in Singapore is this concept called FLAIR. How many of you heard of this concept called FLAIR before? FLAIR, I just write down for you: FLAIR. This has become my basis for my Islamic financial planning presentation for the past 12-13 years already. Right? So for every single person that whom I met, I will share with them this thing called the FLAIR concept. FLAIR. F stands for what? F stands for, let me change color. F stands for financial objectives. L stands for liquidity. A stands for affordability. I stands for investment time horizon. R stands for risk profile. And this is a very simple Islamic finance methodology, a simple Islamic financial planning technique. And nevertheless, simple, right, can be powerful. And so I just want to share with you how this simple concept, how this simple structure can be super duper powerful. Okay, so F stands for financial objective. And so usually for anyone, before they want to get any financial instruments from me, or before they want to understand about a particular financial instrument, I will always ask them a very simple question. What is your financial objective? Why you meet me for? You meet me, a financial consultant, what do you want exactly? You want to save up for your retirement? You want to save up for your child's education? You want to do it as a form of wealth protection? You want to do it as a form of wealth accumulation? What exactly is your financial objective? It's like you play soccer. You play soccer, right? Of course lah. I'm the kind of kaki bangku lah. Kaki bangku is a Malay proverb that's mentioned that I can't really kick the ball. I'm not a football player. Okay, yeah. So if you play soccer or you play football, you need to know where your goalpost is. If you don't know where your goalpost is, then how can you score goals? And similarly, in Islamic financial planning, right, the first thing first, what you need to do or what you need to have is that you need to have your financial objective. Too many people, when they don't have a financial objective, example, they get a plan now lah, or they get a plan today, and then 1 year later, then they start to think, why I get this plan, this money, why I save up every single month, if for example, if I save $500 a month, $6,000, wait, $6,000 a year, I can go to Europe with my family and enjoy my life. Why must save money? So your financial objective is super duper important. If you know your objective, inshallah, you will istiqamah and be consistent and in continuing your financial plan along the way. Alright, and the second one is what? The second one is liquidity. What is liquidity? And liquidity, in essence, right, you need to have, first thing first, your emergency funds readily available in your bank account at all time. And how much emergency funds you need to have? You need to have at least 3 to 6 months of your emergency funds in your bank account at all time. And so example, if you spend $3,000 a month, $3,000 a month is your monthly expenses. So $3,000 a month, I just give example here. $3,000 a month is your monthly expenses. So $3,000 a month times 3 months, you need to have at least $9,000 in your bank account at all time. Okay, this is the most basic minimum you need to have lah. And of course, if you can have more, better. If you can have 6 months, you can have 18,000, better. Or if you can have 36,000, 1 year of emergency funds, better. And some people ask me, what's the requirement actually? It's actually up to you lah. For me, I think for an employee, 3 to 6 months is okay. But for those people who are running your own business, all that, right, 12 months is better. And so depends on your current financial situation and what you are doing right now. If you're running a business, maybe 12 months better. But if you are just running or just an employee, you take 3 to 6 months is also okay. These 3 to 6 months give you the breathing space lah. Suddenly retrenched, suddenly out of job, then how? At least you have some kind of buffer. You have buffer of $9,000 to pay for your monthly expenses before you proceed on to a new job. Okay, so that's liquidity. Then affordability. What's affordability? Affordability stands for the word affordable. Affordable, right? So if example you want to save money, right, for your retirement, and you want to save for your child's education, and most of it, right, are long-term financial objectives. And so if you are in your 20s, you want to retire at the age of in your age of 55 or 60. So you have like 30 years horizon, all right? If you are in your 30s, yes, maybe you have 20 plus over years time horizon, right? But the thing here is that you have to be aware of this thing called affordability. And affordability is important, because why? Because you want to be able to have the holding power, be able to tahan to save up money for the next 15, 20, 25 or 30 years. Right? You want it to be sustainable. And so affordability is important. How to know you can afford or cannot afford? And one of the fastest way that I, as a financial consultant, sometimes be able to gauge my clients and whether they can afford or if they can't, is just by asking them this simple question. And I just ask them one simple question. What's that question? I'll just ask them, and for the past 6 months, right? For the past 6 months, how much have you been saving consistently? Sometimes people tell me 500, sometimes 1,000, sometimes 1,500, or sometimes 2,000, or even sometimes they never save money at all before in their life. If never save money before in their life, means I know they don't have the affordability to start saving up money for their retirement, child's education, or any financial objective, even if they are driven by this thing called motivation. Some people, when we share about financial planning techniques, they feel so pumped up, they feel so energetic, and they want to take action immediately. But I have to stop them. I say, brother, sister, I know, yes, you want to save money for your child's education now. But the thing here, first thing first, your liquidity got problem lah. You don't have your emergency funds at this point on time. If fall sick, want to see the doctor, how? Not enough money. That's the first thing. And then I think affordability also not possible, because for the past 6 months you cannot save money. And of course, by asking the question is a very simple way lah. And for a more detailed way, we go through the cash flow statement with them. Okay, and the fourth one is this thing called investment time horizon. And investment time horizon is what? Is how long is your time horizon, and how long more when you want to retire, how long more you need to save up for your dream dream car or anything that you want to purchase, or how long more is your child going to university, what's the age of the child right now, and when your child want to go to university. So you need to know the investment time horizon. And financial strategy for a time horizon of 1 year, and financial strategy for a time horizon of 20 years, they are different. And so that's why it is important, it is crucial for you to know your investment time horizon. And for those of you who just tuned in, right, Assalamualaikum everyone, this is financial consultant Helmi Hakim here. Bang Baharudin, salam. Yes, good to share. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, so for those of you who just tuned in, right, this is Islamic Financial Consultant Helmi Hakim here from Takaful.sg. I specialize in helping Muslim families plan their finance the Sharia compliant way in Singapore. And today is my 20th day out of my 44 days Facebook live video challenge, and I'm sharing with you Islamic financial planning techniques in Singapore. You are very, very lucky. Because why? Because we are meeting me here, an Islamic finance practitioner, and I'm sharing with you for the past 20 days, right? MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah, I've been sharing with you a lot of techniques and a lot of techniques that you cannot find in your textbook. And I have a finance degree, and I have diploma in accountancy. Okay, so I have almost all the financial textbook in my house and some of the things that I share today or the past 20 days is not available in financial textbook. Right, it requires a practitioner and someone who is doing preaching whatever he teach to share directly with you. Okay, and of course the most beautiful part is what I'm applying it in terms of Singapore's context. And some people told me they travel overseas to attend seminars, all that, but they cannot like ngam like that. Cannot ngam. The thing here is that the context overseas and the context in Singapore is different. So now I'm helping you to sieve out things that is not applicable in Singapore and just sharing with you and summarizing for you and packaging for you and things that you can apply directly in Singapore. So today's topic is Islamic Financial Planning Techniques in Singapore, and I've shared with you about riba, maizi, angora, and I'm sharing with you right now the FLAIR concept: financial objectives, liquidity, affordability, investment time horizon, and the last one here is what? The last one is a risk profile. For us financial planner, we will ask you a few questions to determine your risk profile. Okay, your risk profile can be aggressive or moderately aggressive, or maybe moderately conservative or conservative. And so we need, before we introduce you, before we tell you whether a financial instrument is good or not good for you, we need to understand your risk profile. And this is important, you want to know why? Because sometimes I just receive text message, or sometimes I just receive a call from don't know who from a stranger, and suddenly just ask me, Helmi, this instrument good or not good? Is it good or bad? The thing here is that I'm not able to answer for you whether it's good or bad. Because why? Because I have not understand your financial profile. And by mentioning financial profile, I'm talking about this thing. Okay? I'm talking about the FLAIR concept. And so we need to be absolutely clear on your financial objectives, on your liquidity, on your affordability, on your investment time horizon, on your risk profile, prior to recommending you any financial instrument. Okay, of course we want everything to be halal, and we want it to be Sharia compliant without these three things, without riba, without maizir, without gharar. But the thing here is that we have to understand the suitability, the product or the financial instrument suitability. Is it suitable for you or is it not? Because we don't want to recommend you a super duper good financial instrument, and from my perspective, I see that this instrument is super duper good for you, but then actually it's not compatible, because your financial objective is totally different than the instrument that we want to recommend you. And so this formula, this FLAIR concept is super duper important. While you are sitting down enjoying your cup of coffee, Shazwan Fadli, thanks bro, good sharing, thank you. And so while you are enjoying your cup of coffee, maybe reflecting on life, after your Tarawih prayers here, or maybe just chilling, doing nothing, take out a piece of paper and start jotting down these notes on this FLAIR concept. Because why? Because example, you talk about retirement, you talk about child's education. If you have children, of course we as parents, we want to provide the best kind of lifestyle, the best kind of education for our child in the future. We don't want them to be deprived of good quality education, because why? Because we have neglect our duty as parents to plan for them while they are still very very young. And so now is the time for us to muhasabah, and not just on the akhirah, but also things that we can contribute on this earth itself. Because why? Because the most valuable, or the best of mankind, are the people who deliver the most value to others. And the first group of people that we have to deliver value are the people surrounding us, our parents, our spouse, our children, and ourselves. And we plan for them, and we plan for ourselves. And today's FLAIR concept, is the first step for you to start your Islamic financial planning in Singapore. And these are things that you can do yourself. And you do yourself first, you get it clear. And because if you do it yourself, then your conviction is stronger. And then it's like a self-imposed from outside. It's imposed from outside. And like me forcing you to do it. No, you just take your time and do it yourself. Okay, once you do all this, right, this flag concept, and you are super duper clear, you are crystal clear, on your objective, on your liquidity, on your affordability, on your investment time, on your risk profile, you want to know more, I have something special for you. And you can go to www.halalfinancial plan.sg. This is one of my upcoming fintech project. Basically, I'm developing a software, software where in the future you just key in a few details, then mashallah, alhamdulillah, subhanallah, tabarakallah, your net worth statement, your cash flow statement, with all the financial ratios will be generated, especially for you within a few minutes. Okay, of course, this is a work in progress lah. Me and my developers, my designers, my programmers, my engineers, we are developing this software. But if you want to be one of the few who be able to access this software, just go to my website halalfinancialplan.sg and key in your name and email address. As a free gift, I'll give you a free halal financial planning safety card. It's absolutely free for you. Okay, of course, if you were to ask an independent fee-based financial consultant for such card, and you'll charge you minimum $500, or for such report at least minimum $1,000, but I'm giving it to you for free. Alright, so just go to my website halalfinancialplan.sg. Okay, so that's all. Helmi Hakim here from Takaful.sg. I hope you learned something from today's short sharing. If you want to know more about how I can help you in this COVID-19 situation, you can have a Zoom chat with me lah. Actually, my schedule is quite tight also, and this like one whole month, right, I want to watch Netflix actually, but I think a bit wasted lah if I watch Netflix lah. Because why? Because I see that a lot of people out there need help lah in terms of their financial planning, in terms of the Islamic financial planning, and I realize that actually now is the best opportunity for one to look at investments, and so a bit wasted lah. I think Netflix later can watch lah. It's okay, later can watch, and once all settled down already, later can watch. Now just focus on our finance first. Okay, so if you find whatever I share with you is beneficial, do click like, comment, and share. Because why? Because ilmu, and like my first what you call it, my first few videos I shared with you already lah. Ilmu kalau tak share dia kan, what's going to happen is that ibarat macam air yang bertakung lah, and the air tu akan jadi busuk. So share with as many people as possible. Don't just use the knowledge for yourself. Share with your spouse, share with your children, share with your friends, share with everybody out there. Okay, I doa for you that insyaAllah you have a pleasant Ramadan ahead. Stay at home, stay safe, take care, bye bye, Assalamualaikum.